I'm going to take a look for a Mexican bromeliad weevil. Well, we know they're here. So we have a dead Tillandsia fasciculata right next to a living one.
What we wanted to do was start broad and study the whole forest. And so the first part of this study was to go out and map the old growth forest and find all of the old giant bald cypress trees. The next step of this was to narrow the focus down a little bit, and what we wanted to do here was select just one of these magnificent giant trees and learn about it. And specifically what we wanted to do was an inventory, a biological inventory, to find out all the different plants and animals, insects, fungus, ferns, lizards, everything that is using these trees or associated with the trees in some way. And what that does is it gives us a picture of what is an ecological community centered around these giant trees. And so that gives us a better understanding of the importance of an old growth cypress tree and the forest overall. What we found so far, we've accomplished studying the plants. That includes all the epiphytes, the ferns, bromeliads, orchids, all those things, and some of the insects. And what we're going to be looking at later in the week are some of the vertebrates. Find out what lizards are up there, what frogs, that sort of thing. And what we found so far, just in the past 2 days, are a couple of about 4 or 5 different orchid species, one of which being a ghost orchid. One of the interesting things we just discovered today, actually, is that these big, thick mats of resurrection fern that are up on the tops of the branches, even with 3 inches of rain, it's the top layer, it's the living material that is full of water and growing. And the undersides between the mat of ferns and the branches is still bone dry. So that tells us the water is being retained by the living matter of the tree. This week what we're doing is the technical climbing and making use of the scientific experts to help us with identification of insects and different plants and so on. But while we're up there climbing, there's a lot of wildlife that's not coming in because of all the people working around the tree. And so what we want to do is, at the end of this week, once this project wraps up with the scientific experts, we want to engage the general public. This old growth forest, it represents a part of the ecological heritage of Southwest Florida, but it's also part of the cultural heritage. And when I say that, I mean it is, in a sense, almost something that belongs to everybody here in Southwest Florida. It's something that is unique to our area and something I hope everybody can come and see and appreciate. And because it's something that is essentially kind of, a part of our, heritage here in Southwest Florida, what I want to do is engage people to come out here and participate in this study. And so if you come out to Corkscrew Swamp Sanctuary and take a trip around the boardwalk, you can stop at this big landmark cypress tree and actually do some observations of wildlife. And by doing so, help us out with this study. And what we hope to do is learn enough from this tree, refine our sampling techniques, and develop more in-depth research questions so that perhaps in January or February of 2015 we can do a much more in-depth study or series of studies on these old growth trees.
Any day you step on the ground is a good day.